Aston Villa beat SC Freiburg 3-0 to win the Europa League final, which was like what, their first ever European title in over 40 years. It is honestly a great achievement for a club that were in the championship like what in 2019, and they won the Europa League while wearing these beautiful kits. I'm wearing the kit right now, and honestly, it is one of the best kits that was ever released in this season. Fans have been rejoicing. I actually asked my Aston Villa supporting friend how he felt when Aston Villa actually reached the Europa League final. So here you go, Kenny.
Obviously, the last time Villa won a cup was 30 years ago. So I personally have never seen Villa reach a final, let alone win a cup. To be there for the semi-final, to watch that game, one of the best performances we've ever put in under Emery, under any manager in the recent years, to be honest. Genuinely, I can't describe it. It's such a good feeling. I can't describe it at all.
But while I was scrolling through Twitter, after Aston Villa had beaten Nottingham Forest to reach the Europa League final, I saw a video of an Aston Villa fan crying after Villa beat Forest 4-0. Now, the thing about this Villa fan was that he was not from Birmingham. He was from Brazil, but he was still so invested in Villa reaching a European final that it brought him to tears. And to me, that's the beauty of football, right? Fans across the world become so connected with clubs halfway across the world. But this also brought out a side of the football fan base that always come about when international fans come into the spotlight, and that is the support your local side that call any international fan plastic, and this side pisses me off a lot, and that's why I'm making a video about it. Alright, so before you lot watch this video, I'll also recommend you lot watch Macwell's video where he delves a bit deeper. He goes into a lot of the points that I also go through in this video, so you all can also go watch that. I'll link it in the description. But anyways, thank you all for watching this video, and let's get into it. So the top European leagues have grown a lot as a result of TV deals, and a huge part of that is international TV deals, and that has also allowed clubs to garner a huge fan following outside of Europe. You can easily spot a United fan in Florida, a Juve fan in Sydney, or a Dortmund fan in Chennai for sakes. But that has also brought about a huge chunk of people that say that these fans are not attached to the club and only support them for their success. To them, I would like to say something, right? Firstly, many people outside of Europe first start to watch football through the TV. And TV channels are not going to show Steven versus Doncaster Rovers. I'm sorry, they're just not. They're going to show Arsenal versus Man City, Dortmund versus Bayern, Juve versus Inter, Real versus Barca, or whatever that attracts audiences. And since these are the matches and leagues that are shown on TV, oftentimes fans will follow the teams that play in the matches that are being broadcasted. They only start supporting the teams that is playing in front of their eyes. For example, when I was growing up, Star Sports was the only channel that showed football, or at least we had access. At that time, they showed both the Premier League and Bundesliga, and Bundesliga coverage was pretty heavy, and one of the teams that was doing well at the time was Wolfsburg. Keep in mind, I was around 7. This is around 2014, 2015, where they had that brilliant Wolfsburg side with KDB, Naldo, Draxler, you know, the OGs of Wolfsburg basically. And around the time, there was also this game called FTS 15. The real ones would know. The real ones would know how good FTS 15 was. So basically, I wanted to play as Wolfsburg, but unfortunately, FTS 15 being a mobile game, it had microtransactions and you can't really access all the teams. But the one place where you can access all the teams was the training mode. So I wanted to play as Wolfsburg in the training mode, and that's when I found out that there was a yellow colored team that was playing in Germany, and that team was called Dortmund. Now, I think if you all have seen the recent video about the Champions League, you all know I am a huge Chennai Super Kings fan, right? Actually, in fact, I have bunch of them in the wall. This do-rag as well, like a CSK team do-rag. I don't know why I have a CSK team do-rag. So CSK wears yellow, so yellow became my favorite color. So therefore I started supporting Dortmund because they also wore yellow. Now again, I was 7, alright. In hindsight though, I did dodge a bullet because supporting Wolfsburg would have been the worst gambling decision of my life. I would have probably smacked about like 4 different TVs, especially if they get relegated before I even upload this video. But my support for Dortmund is undeniable, right? If I had supported them for success, like many people claim plastic fans do, I would have ditched them when they bottled the league in 2019. But I haven't, because my loyalty to the club is not dependent on success. It's rather like an emotional one. Also, there are fans of teams like Wolves Everton, Forest, Köln, Stuttgart, and several other mid-table teams that actually have fans outside of Europe as well. I know Stuttgart aren't that bad right now. They're reaching the Champions League, but they weren't that great as recently as 2023. Are they suddenly plastics as well because they aren't from the fucking city? Also, many people that I know who watch football, at least in India, also support their local teams. For example, I support Chennai FC. Hold on, man. I support Chennai FC, my local football team, as well. It's like the human brain can actually comprehend supporting more than one team. If I can support a cricket team and a football team, why can't I support two football teams? As long as I'm not supporting them because they win trophies, it's fine. I also want to bring up someone named Kuldeep Yadav. Now, the cricketing fan base will know Kuldeep Yadav is one of the, I would say, one of the best Indian spinners that game has ever seen. And he's actually extremely passionate about football, to the point that he actually has a YouTube channel where he actually speaks about football. When you think of an Indian fan, many people will probably think of someone who supports Real Madrid or someone. But this man watches every single Prem game. Even if it's fucking Nottingham Forest versus Wolves, he watches it. It's such a huge thing. That's the power of football, right? Where it just connects people from different backgrounds. To me, that's also kind of random because I did not really think Kuldeep Yadav would speak about Anthony Areola. Now, I have to admit, some international fans are absolutely f***ing retarded. Like, for instance, I know many would have seen a meme. I don't know whether I can pull it up or not, but you all would have seen a picture where people list out football clubs like it's the f***ing list of teams that a player has played for on their Wikipedia bio. You also have fans switching teams when their favorite player moves clubs. Part of this, at least in India at least, is because a lot of the people who do that come from a cricketing fan base, where most people who support a franchise don't support the franchise because they come from the franchise's home city, but rather because their favorite player plays there. So, for instance, CSK, RCB, MI, these are all three teams who have iconic Indian players like MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli, and Rohit Sharma. And people who support these teams outside of Chennai, Bangalore, and Mumbai are not supporting them because of the team itself, but rather because they are supporting them for Dhoni or Virat or Rohit. And they wouldn't have supported them had these three not played for these teams. So that sort of culture got passed on to football as well. The internet and its anonymity has also allowed people to root for literal rapists. Most of these are from a particular city though. I'm not gonna say anything. Lagos. You also have fans of clubs like Barca and Liverpool who are upset whenever their club talks about social issues like the LGBTQ or other social causes without knowing the history of their club. Like, my guy, what the do you think Meske un Club means? Do you think it's just there for vibes? But these are like a small vocal minority compared to a vast majority of fans who do not do stuff like. You also have fans who have enough money more than common sense or passion and solely go to these games for social media likes. But again, that's just a minority. Not every international fan is a f***ing Togden. Which is funny because Togden is f***ing British, where most of these support your local people come from. Traveling to Europe for an average person can cost thousands of euros because you have to book flights, you have to book hotels, you even have visa costs if you are Indian. And getting tickets is a nightmare, as I've seen my friends struggle for tickets while planning Dortmund trips. I'll bring up the story of a Malaysian friend as well, who is the president of the Borussia Dortmund fan club in Malaysia. Whenever he has to go through a Dortmund trip, he has to plan out stay, accommodations, he has to plan out flights, he has to often have multiple connecting flights, oftentimes to Istanbul or somewhere else in case of due to the crisis that's going on. It's hell for any outside traveler. And not to mention, the ticket prices are absurd. We are talking about like people potentially spending half of their yearly expenses just to attend one match. But circling back to the Brazilian Villa fan, many replies were saying that he isn't connected to the heritage because he doesn't live close enough or because he doesn't feel the heritage of the club. I am sorry lad, but I do not think Unai Emery, Emi Buendia, Pau Torres or any of the foreign coaching staff or players were connected to the Villa heritage prior to them entering Villa Park or stepping foot in Birmingham. But this isn't why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because I had an interaction with an Everton fan. So to this Everton fan, which I have nothing against Everton by the way, y'all are a pretty lovely club. I think y'all have a pretty lovely fan base. To this Everton fan, international fans were not real fans because of distance. So I asked him whether Everton was the closest team to him regardless of division. He said that unless we are counting the 9th tier teams that play near him or below, the closest team to him was Everton since they moved to their new stadium, the Hill Dickinson. So I asked him, why aren't you supporting the 9th division team or like the smaller division team? Why didn't you support the nearest team when Everton wasn't the closest team above the 9th division to you? And then he went silent for obvious reason. Now, I am not claiming this fan to be plastic. It's not at all. I am not doubting that he has a lot of passion for Everton. But I'm just using his logic against him because if you're going by distance, you should not be supporting Everton. You should be supporting like 10th division club. By that logic, I should have been supporting my local 3rd division TNCA team instead of Chennai Super Kings. But lads, if you are supporting a club just for success, I hope you bite into a piece of a lychee while eating biryani. That's all you deserve. But anyways, that'll be the end of this video. It's slightly shorter and I'll be honest, I have been procrastinating a lot when it comes to videos. I need to get a hang of it ASAP. But yeah, next video will be hopefully about football sponsors and yeah. So thank you all for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video.